Hello ladies and gents, I am Alan Diffin and this is Early Access at Factorio version 0.12 and I'm under attack. It's been a little while since I have recorded this, you probably won't notice because of the way I buffer my videos, but what I did in the meantime was just try and remember what I was doing. I had a little look at the factory off camera and I've noticed some, well, glaring obvious errors and issues with this factory design, mainly the scalability. This factory is working as is. It's not great, but it does actually work. While this iron comes out, because this is a nice little idea, having all the ore being processed, being sent to the facility here. For which I can't really scale this facility up. I really should really have, I made it more modular. So have all the furnaces in one area, the ore going in, and then sheet metal coming out, going into the central spine. And this central spine is a really good idea. The problem is I don't have enough types of resources. I've only got a single line of iron plates. I need double line of plates going all the way down. So where I do have double line of plates, I actually have no facilities using them. The only facilities I have using this double line, be careful of the train. The only time I have double is the green bottle facility, which is grabbing in stuff here and here, and then the actual ammunition, which I should really upgrade to lasers because I'm now facing medium biters which have bullet resistance, but not laser resistance. What this central spine should also have is should have copper plates and maybe some other resources. I think good green circuit boards as well. It's a common thing. I had a little look at a couple of factory designs. Green circuit boards are used by so much. It's actually useful to have it on a central spine of your base, or bus design, bus or tree designs, as seems what they referred to in the community as. So I think I need to work on that. Other thing I do need to do, which I think Rimmel did kind of point out to me, I should really be looking at the times it takes to do recipes. Because, for example, this sulfuric acid, I've been having a lot of issues with sulfuric acid, about just not getting enough. This takes 1 second to produce, how much sulfuric acid is it? What's the actual pattern? So sulfuric acid, 5 sulfuric acid in 1 second, when you have enough sulfur. So it's 2 sulfur every second, so basically you need 2.5 to power this reaction. I only have 1 to be able to this functionality. So straight away I'm down. But this, if I get to the full flow of this acid, I get 5 sulfuric acid. That's 5 sulfuric acid for making batteries, which is what I can do. Batteries. So where are they? Going through the issues in my base. There they are. They're redded out. I can't really see them so clearly. So it uses 2 sulfuric acid. So that's essentially, So every 10 seconds it uses 4. Every 12.5 it uses 5. So in that time, I could have been creating 12 of these. I mean, I can run 12 battery plants, or at least 10 battery plants, rather than just 1. And batteries are an issue I am having. I'm having massive battery issues. So if I just redesigned this to have more sulfur production for powering I could even just have a single chemical plant making sulfuric acid. I could have 10 battery plants. The 10 battery plants would be able to get me 10 batteries every 5 seconds, which would be much, much better, considering that would then be a laser, which could then be produced could have 2 laser turrets produced every, could have laser turret produced every 20 seconds, which would be really good, and then the rest of the things go into accumulators and all the rest of the stuff, like the circuit boards. If I then doubled it up, can have so much more battery production and overproduce batteries to supply the assembling machines for the blue circuits. The blue circuits are used in research, upgrade the research, all of this if I just scaled it up. Unfortunately, this base does not allow that. I could do it. I need to get the oil better organised. This is just a mess of pipes. Look at that. I have no idea. And I built this. I have no idea what that is. If I centralise the oil refinery, say to here, in this big space, pull in all the oil ducts from here, the oil pumps here and here, into a big centralised oil refinery, and then pump out, and then basically ship out the products, so the batteries, and a pipe for the sulfuric acid. Lasers firing. So all of that would be much more effective, and then I wouldn't have this mess. I also wouldn't have built over all this copper, because quite frankly this copper field is useless. I actually have very little copper, which is bizarre because this is an incredibly rich vein of copper and I just can't access it because I've built basically my entire production facility on it. That is really bad. As I said, I could swap this around. I could change it all, fix it up, but it would take so long. I'd rather just rebuild it using what I've learned from this to make a better base. The other thing is the trains. As I said in a couple of episodes ago, I think it was, no? This is the first train station I have ever made. It's not very good, mainly because of that. But it works. It does work. It gets from point A to point B really quick. Big issue. This train station is useless. I've got copper ore coming off, but that just goes to here. I don't actually need it. The other thing is, I don't need wires on belts. Look, these got 7 just sitting in them. Could just direct. As long as I have plates going to one of these, I can just have them direct feed into others. Because yeah, they require a couple, and so this is having to do 2 actions. Whereas if it was direct, it could do 1, which I believe you can see. If I run down here to this one. This one here. So if I take this out, so it does 2 actions, pulls out the stuff there. Let's just grab all these so you can actually see it working. So it pulls off the plate there, just puts in single movement, doesn't do multiple. Look at that, ding, ding, done, 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 done. And that's exactly what I want it to do. That'd be a much more efficient way, and that's because this is being supplied with plenty of copper plates. The copper plates, though, are being supplied directly from furnaces. A very inefficient method. I should have them on belts, so the belt, and then all the arms or boxes, pull it into the actual store, into the wire production then throws it out into the production facilities. Again, I've got probably too many greens just scattered around. That's the thing. I've got very little is centralised. This initial spine, when I first did it, absolutely brilliant idea. I just didn't scale it up properly. I built on it. I needed to build off it, so use splitters. So split off from it. So my steel production, rather than being here, I should split it off, brought it all the way over to here, build a load of steel, then bring it back to the central core. So then when I want to expand anything, I just extend the side rather than building further and further down. Because eventually, well, quite quickly actually, I'm going to run out of stuff. And even now, you can see, now a couple of these mines are drying up, the ore is no longer solid. This used to be solid, and it's just filtering along. And the plates, they're just now sparse. This is terrible. Look at it. There's barely any plates on there at all. Thankfully, my production is so low at the moment, it doesn't matter. So I'm not actually producing enough to utilise what I don't have. But I am again, I've got other issues. I'll go through those in a second. I don't need the coal. I'm still wasting resources on coal. Yes, I suppose technically it's probably not a waste, but it's a waste because I do have a lot. Well, I could be building a lot more accumulators and solar farms. And once this is all up and dandy, that would be brilliant. 290 solar panels isn't that many, but it's quite handily handling the production. Look, they're being overused to start with to boost up the accumulators. That's fine, I don't mind that. The steam engines should probably just dismantle by now, or put them onto their own circuit, or rebuild them, make them a separate entity which is then powered only when the main grid runs offline. When the main grid runs low on power, you could probably do it by accumulators. So when the accumulators run out of power, all the steam engines turn online to give me a burst if I ever need it. For example, would be a very long night with all the lasers firing. Not had that issue at the moment because I just haven't had that many lasers firing because I haven't had enough batteries. You get the idea. I think I've got a bottleneck here. I didn't actually empty this out because I'm not cracking here. So this is just a bit of an issue. That's solvable quite easily. But these boilers, need to figure out how to prevent them from being used. I can certainly do it, but it's not needed so much. But yes, this train station, useless. Can't get these all off. I was figuring it out for ages trying to do it. I had to dismantle essentially this entire section just to get the ore off the train. Then I had the difficulty, okay, where does it go when it's off the train over here? I could bring it all the way down here, like all the way down here on a massive conveyor to here. But then I was like, well, if I do that, why not just bring a train around here? And I should have probably done that. And then there's this all over here. It's a complete mess, basically. But I learned a lot, and hopefully you learned a lot as well. It's just analysis of your projects, which I couldn't really do while recording. It's very difficult to analyse what your long-term plan. So, which is why I only did it while I'm off camera. So I was just trying to figure out what was going on. I've been playing multiplayer games with this as well, so it's a little bit confusing. But otherwise, I think I'm just going to end this series. I'll keep hold of the save in case I do ever decide to come back to it, but I will actually just create a new game with the things I've learned from this and try. I don't say I'll succeed. I will try and actually utilise that plan for trains and plan for all these aspects which I just didn't take into account in this one. So I will try and do the scalability thing. It may not work, but also I just haven't been using blueprints much. I've done blueprints for these things, which is awesome. Look at that. It's great for the solar and what have you. But I could do blueprints for other things. I could actually have blueprint production printouts, so I could just I need additional steel. Let's build it over here and just plonk down a blueprint of steel manufacture or blueprint for additional iron and copper processing, or any of these. The other last thing I noticed, my research is slow. It just is really slow. I'm running on 6 slabs. I could easily get that higher. It just, again, it's this whole scalability thing. I've got a backup of all these here. I'm not enough blue, but that's because this is backlogged. So I think the biggest point of all this is need to do scalability. Everything you do in this game, you need to think about what you're going to do with it after you've built it. Things like these furnaces, generally pull them down, rebuild them. That's fine. I can do that. So you don't need to worry about the fuel then. I could just replace that with an electric furnace. That's great. So I just put an electric furnace there, clear these. That then works. A few other things like that. But other things like here. this was working very well. I was having the iron come along, and so the iron comes along, and that is a really nice idea. This I like. This actual branch. The thing is, I should have been doing this at every point in this. Every single point I should have been building off like that. So not just at the end, like here should have built off, build something in this area. So here I should have pulled off and built my oil, because there's a load of oil things. So here should have pulled over to the side here and built, say, the circuits. Not the circuits down here on the copper. I don't know what I was thinking building directly on the copper. That was just crazy. But there we go. So thank you very much for watching this series. As I said, I'm going to start a new one right after this episode, actually. And yeah, see how that goes. And hopefully, using things I've learned, particularly with the scalability of an entire facility, I will make one much better. Not a guarantee, but it should be able to make it a lot better than this. So, until then, I'm out. Goodbye.